When I was 18, I met Mark Wellman just a few weeks after he climbed that famous mountain in Yosemite, Half Dome. And what was so crazy impressive about it was he was the first paraplegic to climb that mountain. He climbed with a partner and he had a contraption that allowed him to do pull-ups. And after having completed 7,000 pull-ups, he arrived at the top. Now, when I shook his hand, I thought, this man is all vision and grit. Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this week's episode of the Creative Fight podcast. Here we're going to turn our attention to chapter 21 of the book, and this chapter is called Grit and Glory. And at the end of the chapter, there's an exercise. And the exercise says, hey, if you want to gain some grit, because that's what we really need, right? Creativity isn't just clouds and rainbows and thinking happy thoughts. We need to be creative, of course, but we need some muscle, some strength and backbone, and combine those two together if we really want to live an amazing and a fascinating life. And so if we want that, if we want to gain grit, it's not going to come easy. But what I've found is that by surrounding yourself with people who have grit, it can help you to gain some of it yourself. Because when you face those difficult situations, it will help you to push past it. When you think about something that's hard, I go back to Mark and say, well, if he could do that, I can do this, whatever it is. So anyway, in this exercise, I say, hey, what do you think about some of the people who you admire who have this quality, which I call grit? And I gave a few ideas. I said, well, Nelson Mandela is one of them. And what I admire about him is his courage, his kindness, and his resolve. So this isn't just like being a meathead and just working harder and doing more of something, but it's a combination of things. He had so much courage. He was so kind. He had this resolve to not give up. He was in prison for 27 years without ever giving up. Then there's my dad, Jeff Orwig. It's his work ethic, his deep faith, and he's just tough as nails. Another person I wrote down is Mother Teresa, who responded to human suffering with such warmth, humility, and love. And she had such resolve when she did that. Then there's another friend, Chris Lieto. He's a Ironman, he's a triathlete, but an Ironman champion, an amazing, just elite athlete. But he overcame so many obstacles. At one point, there was an accident. He was told he wasn't going to walk again, but he overcame that and he went on to excel. Or there's Frederick Douglass, who escaped the shackles of slavery and went on to thrive. Or Theodore Roosevelt, who had such legendary vigor and grit. And so what I want you to do is to begin to assemble a list of some of the people that you admire from this perspective. And by creating that list and mentally surrounding yourself with these great people, it can help you to push through whatever difficult situation you have. And in turn, that can help you to build that sense of grit, that sense that, no, I won't give up. No, I won't throw in the towel. No matter what, whether you've gotten negative feedback on some kind of project, I'm going to push through that. I'm going to keep going. Because grit is something that you can't learn in a class. It's not anything that you can inherit or be given. You can only gain grit by going through difficult situations, which is something that will happen to all of us. But if you have grit, if you have that backbone, those difficult situations won't crush you, but they will make you stronger. So I encourage you to write down a few ideas yourself. All right, well, thanks so much for joining me in this episode. If ever you want to post any of your own ideas or your own list of people who inspire you, and you want to do so online, use that hashtag, #TheCreativeFight, or just feel free to send them to me. You can use the contact form on thecreativefight.com. And remember to keep fighting the good fight. Keep it up. There is so much more to life. Well, thanks again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in another episode. Have a great rest of your day.